So in this next subtitle, we're going to look at why the South decided to secede, or why the states that did secede ultimately decided that that was their best option. The main issue here is that they are afraid that the North will abolish slavery, especially now that Lincoln has been elected as president. At this point, they feel that they are beyond compromise in Congress, and most of the men who were forging those compromises earlier had already died. And so they did not think that anyone was going to listen to the Southern interests. So, why are particular groups in the South seceding and fighting? For the elite, they are mostly fighting to preserve their way of life and to keep their slaves. Their entire economy depended on it, but also their lives as wealthy landowners who didn't really have to work also depended on the continuation of slavery. Now, for the commoners, who generally did not have as many slaves, why were they fighting? They are mostly fighting for loyalty to the South and loyalty to their states. They wanted to also preserve the liberty given by the founders as they see it. Very few are fighting directly for slavery, but they are fighting for a continuation of their way of life and the preservation of their economy, as well as for loyalty to their state and to their leaders, who are largely slave owners. The Southern cause is on the whole, rooted in slavery. In fact, in the Constitution, as we'll see here, it says that all states must allow slavery. There is not the option to outlaw slavery in the Confederacy. But the Southern Constitution also rejected the slave trade, which is a little odd because a lot of the Southern leaders were talking about reopening the slave trade to give them a cheaper avenue to gain more slaves. Nevertheless, here they reject the slave trade, probably to look a little bit more moderate to some who are hesitating. Jefferson Davis becomes the president of the Confederacy, and as his vice president, Alexander Stephens, a leader from the South that is pro-slavery as well, kind of fills Calhoun's shoes. However, the Southern Constitution never fully functions. They don't really get to have the chance to have elections or anything like that because they're in the midst of a war for their entire existence.